can call SSSnipperwolf a lot of things. Hot, beautiful, a thief. That's been well documented. And now a stalker. Because in this bizarre world, Sniperwolf decided to do the unthinkable. She accidentally, we'll get into that in a minute, stalked and doxed one of her top tier 3 subs, Jack Films. Sniperwolf just doxed me on her IG. Creepy, gross, violating. What you do is disgusting, you steal content and stalk YouTubers. At YouTube, demonetize this dangerous creator. I love the quote unquotes. Or just get her off your platform. She posted an IG story right outside of her home and deleted it. I don't know, honest, Jack Films, you should probably add Team YouTube. Usually they're the ones that actually does something, or at least tries to look like they do something. I'm not even sure if at Team YouTube even is a real person using it or if it's just an AI. Now, of course, Leah had to respond to these blatantly false allegations. Accusing me of doxing is defamation. I have no idea how to dox. He literally posted his address to Google and said I threatened him and doxed him. I'm assuming she doesn't realize how anything in the world works. I guess it's kind of just beyond her that, you know, you probably shouldn't go to people's houses unannounced, especially if they don't like you. Now, this all started when Jack Films made a series of tweets and videos calling out Sniperwolf for her, let's just say, shitty business practices. If you can even call this a business, like, this seems more like a conglomerate like Disney or something, just ripping some content creators' hard work, putting it into their films, and then copyrighting it, saying it's theirs now. Sniperwolf would steal TikToks and does the equivalent of XQC just leaving the room, except she stays and stares blankly at a script that someone else written, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't even like find the TikToks herself anymore. She probably just has one person that scrolls through TikTok all day and just finds them for her. God, just imagine having that job. You get paid a ridiculous amount of money just to scroll TikTok for a multi-millionaire who just stares at a script that you've written about the TikToks you saw. So after Jack called her out in a couple videos on his actual channel, he decided to make a brand new channel just so he can document how dedicated he is to the Sniperwolf hate, because this man does nothing on this channel but critiques Sniperwolf's videos. And I'm gonna be honest, I really can't blame the guy. It does bring in some pretty good views and probably some pretty good money. And also, he's just stealing content from a content thief. I can't be mad at the guy, and if anything, he's literally doing more transformative work than her. So this whole feud led up to essentially today, or technically last night, seeing that Sniperwolf decided to pay Jack Films a little bit of a visit. And not just a little visit, she pulled up to his house and then took a picture of it and posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers. You know, most sane people with a platform that big know, hey man, there's a couple crazies in my fan base. You know, out of 5.6 million people, there just has to be one. Why would you post your rival's house on your fucking Instagram account if you didn't want maybe a little bit of bad karma going their way? Maybe a tier 2 sub doesn't have the money to move up to tier 3, so he decides to, you know what, maybe I could get little Leah's attention by doing something to Jack Films. This is a disgusting use of her platform, even if in some world this is somehow not even illegal, even though any woman that this would happen to would rightfully be up in arms if a guy came to her house and started taking pictures of it and posting it to his large audience. Something that did happen to her, and she made 2 videos on about it. And it kind of seemed like she really didn't like random strangers coming to her house. And it's not like Sniperwolf is like a family friend of Jack Films. Yeah, they may live like 5 minutes apart, but that doesn't mean you just have an open invite to go to his house and then post pictures of his house. Then I guess in a sobering moment, Sniperwolf decided to delete the Instagram story and tried to spin this as Jack Films put his house address on Google for all to see. Yes, a famous person put their own house address onto Google by themselves. No one at all did anything to find it and post it up there themselves. Jack went to Google and put it into the database database himself. And I guess Leah decided to not trust Google and post a screenshot of her finding out where he lives, because at least then there's like a little bit of plausible deniability. Like, yeah, I'm stupid, but at least I didn't go to his house. Nah, she decided, you know what? Let me go make sure it's his house. Let me go make sure the house looks exactly like the picture from the leaked address of Jack Films' house. You know, just something you do whenever you're a normal human being with millions of dollars in your bank account and you can do anything in the world. You can literally just ignore Jack and continue making millions. But I guess that's just too much for some people. And then on top of that, Snipperwolf wanted to say that anyone suggesting that she actually doxed and stalked Jack's films is being defamatory. I don't know how defamatory you can get whenever the evidence is like right there. I mean, like, I think we all can see what you were trying to do. You don't know Jack Films on a personal level to where you go over to his house on a regular basis and you always post Jack's Films house on your Instagram story. It's just a normal occurrence. Is it, Leah? How many times have you actually posted Jack Films house on your Instagram story? Now, for most people, they think it's more of an innocent crime. Most guys would be like, I think I would like Snipperwolf to be stalking me outside of my house at who knows what time of night. At least then I feel like I'm worth something. But my guy, there's a difference between like a random cutesy girl stalking you outside your house and then Snipperwolf, a person charged with armed robbery. Now, I don't know what world anyone else lives in, but usually you gotta have a weapon, or at least threaten to use a weapon to be charged with armed robbery. Now, boys, let's all make rational decisions here. Yes, she is a good-looking person, but also good-looking women can shoot you in the face too. Snipperwolf has already shown she is not beyond violence, alright? She will be violent if she has to, because she also was arrested in 2016 for domestic abuse. Something else that is a pretty violent crime. I'm just saying here, boys, one time, alright, maybe she was desperate with the armed robbery. Whenever she got arrested in 2016, she was already living a good life. And on top of that, it's kind of weird how she was the only one that was arrested for domestic violence. Usually it takes two to tango, unless one is very abusive. Now, boys, it's time to take your hands out of your pants. You typically don't want abusive women anywhere near you, especially stalking you. Usually those are murder cases waiting to happen. And from what we can see, one victim already was Sausage, a man that I would assume loved her. I mean, like, just look at these two. And also, he made her millions of dollars. Let's all be honest here. This man behind the scene did make this woman a millionaire. Her ex-husband now that is literally divorcing her. Boys, look at this picture again. Look at these two. Please tell me which one you thought would be divorcing the other. I'm sure Mr. Sausage would have loved to work things out, and this would have been the happy ending that he was always hoping for. A beautiful wife, millions of dollars, living in a big-ass house. But somehow, he doesn't get to get that, and she doesn't get to have a husband anymore because she decided to be abusive towards people. Because I guess no one ever told her no, or hey, that's a pretty dumb decision. You probably shouldn't do that in her life. Because she has shown multiple times that she is willing to do dumb stuff on a whim. But it's really wild how she can even have a chance at spinning this narrative, and no one other than, let's all be honest here, guys, are calling her out for how dumb this decision was to go to Jack Films' house and literally film it. Now, in a just world, YouTube would probably respond by demonetizing or banning Snipperwolf because this is actual dangerous behavior. Like, you probably should not allow people to get away with going to their rivals' houses because they critique their content. But that's more of a utopia. Snipperwolf has 30 million subscribers and is female. You don't see too many females like Pokimane or any big female YouTubers calling out Snipperwolf right now because it's not their problem. But as soon as a guy does this to someone that's female, they will be all over it, slobbering all over the clout. And 30 million subscribers is a pretty big number to just delete off of your whole website, even though it would be the right thing to do. But since when did YouTube ever do the right thing? I'm like, hell, Mr. Cupcake Man somehow got people's videos removed because he wasn't arrested in that specific video clip. But boys, tell me in the comments down below, how do you guys feel about this whole situation with Snipperwolf and Jack Films? And also, did you guys see that huge news with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard?